can't always prevent liver or kidney disease, but we can try to prevent gas and bloating, specifically in rabbits, because hay is extremely fibrous. Hey y'all, I'm Sarah. We are back with another segment in our video series of Picky Pet Prep. But before I get started, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Hit the notification bell because this is our second video, and then we're gonna have one more after this to talk about what to do with your picky pet. All right, we're gonna be talking about the different health issues that your pet can get from not eating enough hay. This is like the most important part, I think, of this whole series, in my opinion, because it all comes down to hay. It's like crazy. I wish this was a common denominator for humans. Maybe drinking more water is like the human equivalent of this. I don't know. But if your rabbit doesn't eat enough hay, it just is a snowball effect of issues for your rabbit. The first thing that you can do to get your rabbit to start eating more hay is to find the hay that your rabbit likes. It's like that simple. So we are offering an amazing offer on our sampler hay box. Our sampler hay box has 4 different types of hay in it. It has Timothy hay second cutting, which I have here, and this is what my rabbits eat. We have Timothy hay third cutting, we have orchard hay, and we have oat hay. Now, you want your rabbit to find which hay they like the best. If the hay that they like the best is just literally all 4 of these hays combined, maybe that's okay. You just keep giving them the sampler hay box as their regular hay. Now, if they find one in the sampler hay box that they like more, of course, start buying that one. Like we started off with the sampler hay box, and now we're on to just your regular old Timothy hay second cutting. That's what my rabbits like the best. They eat it a ton. That doesn't mean that things may not change, however, in the future. Especially because I do have a senior bun, and she might start having issues in terms of needing a softer type of hay. But that's also why the sampler hay box is great, because orchard and oat hay are pretty soft, and that's really, really good for rabbits with any sort of dental issues. So let's get into the different types of health issues that your rabbit could have from not eating enough hay. First, of course, we're gonna start with dental issues. If you didn't know, your rabbit's teeth do not stop growing. So if they're not eating the proper diet in terms of something that grinds down their teeth constantly, your rabbit is going to have overgrown teeth, dental problems. They could possibly have an infection in their tooth. This all can lead to stasis, of course. Hay actually grinds down your rabbit's teeth. The way that rabbits chew is so they have such a strong jaw that just chewing hay helps grind down their teeth. So the more hay they chew, the more healthy their teeth are going to be. It's that simple. So that's why we want to find a hay that your rabbit will eat 24/7, graze on all the time, eat when they're hungry, eat when they're not hungry, just whenever they want it, they eat their hay and they keep their teeth totally healthy and at a normal length. If your rabbit has overgrown teeth, for example, this can cause discomfort while they're eating, it can cause pain, and then it stops them from wanting to eat hay. And if your rabbit stops eating hay or stops eating in general, your rabbit's gonna start having even more issues like stasis, for example. Stasis happens when your rabbit has stopped eating and drinking, meaning their gastrointestinal tract has stopped working. A rabbit's GI tract needs to constantly be moving. It's like a conveyor belt. It's just constantly going and going. Your rabbit actually poops 300 to 400 pellets a day on a normal, average, healthy day. So if that's not happening, something is wrong in your rabbit's tummy, and they're not going to feel well, and it could really lead to major issues and even sometimes death. Another reason your rabbit might stop eating their hay is if they have an illness or if they have pain anywhere in their body. You know, rabbits don't like to show that they're in pain. They're prey animals, so they have to be so conscious of how they are showing themselves to the world, and they don't want the world to know that they're in pain, because if a predator, for example, knows that they're in pain, they know that they're weak, can't run away, and are very easy to stalk and kill. you may not know if your rabbit is in pain. You have to be a very vigilant rabbit owner and always be looking at the way that your rabbits look to make sure that they aren't in pain. There are specific positions that your rabbit may do when they're in pain, and you really have to know what they could be presenting to figure out, oh, hey, my rabbit is in pain, I might need to take it to the vet immediately. You know, also another reason you would be able to tell if your rabbit is in pain is, of course, if they stop eating their hay. Now, it's kind of like a cycle, because if your rabbit stops eating their hay, they can start having an illness, right? They can start getting GI stasis, they have a blockage in their tummies, or they have, like I mentioned earlier, a dental issue, they're in pain, they don't want to eat. So then if they stop eating, they stop pooping, they stop peeing, and their GI tract stops moving. If your GI tract stops moving, then you go back to the beginning, then they're not eating anymore. So it's just a constant cycle of what ultimately becomes GI stasis. And once this starts, you can of course reverse it if you catch it early enough, but if you don't, it can really lead to death in a lot of rabbits. And many owners don't realize this until it's too late. They don't realize that their rabbit has stopped eating. They don't realize that their rabbit is in pain. You know, if you're not home all the time and you're not watching your rabbit constantly, these things can happen in as little as 4 to 5 hours. So you always have to be so vigilant in making sure that you are taking care of your rabbit in the proper way. Now, of course, this leads us back to our main topic in finding the right hay so that your rabbit doesn't get into this position. If they eat enough hay, they keep eating, they will most likely not have an illness. The sampler hay box with all 4 different types of hay is a great way to start, because you can see, oh, my rabbit really likes second cutting Timothy hay. They're eating it constantly, and that makes you know that they're healthy, they're feeling good, they're eating all the time, they're pooping all the time, and you're like, well, okay, then I need to start buying that hay for them all the time. But it is a very vigilant practice to be a rabbit owner, right? Like, we always have to be looking at them, studying them, because they're so subtle. I mean, my rabbits, for example, they don't even like to be pet, really. I'm lucky if I get to pick them up. They're not even in this video right now because they don't want to be picked up. You know, so it's knowing your rabbit's temperament, it's knowing their normal everyday body, you know, movements, feeding schedule, things like that, that really make you know when your rabbit is needing help and when they're not. Lastly, I already touched on this a little bit, but gastrointestinal issues. These are things like gas, bloating, pain, a blockage in their stomach, even like kidney or liver failure, for example. These are all issues inside that can make your rabbit stop eating because it's too painful for them to eat, or they don't have enough energy to get up and get to their food. And so, you know, obviously these are things that you can and can't prevent. We can't always prevent liver or kidney disease, but we can try to prevent gas and bloating, specifically in rabbits, because hay is extremely fibrous. It really makes their GI tract move. It makes them poop constantly. I mean, if you have a rabbit, you know you're always picking up these little pellets. Everywhere you go, they have them, because your rabbit needs to be constantly pooping so that their, you know, GI tract is constantly moving. It's like they're eating, they're pooping, they're eating, they're pooping. It's just a constant thing for these animals. And if you don't have the right hay for them to be eating and wanting to eat constantly, these are some issues that may arise for you. All right, y'all, so the sampler hay box is on sale now. There is a link in the description of this video to the sampler hay box. We have a special deal going. We want you to find what is best for your rabbit. We want to prevent disease. We want to prevent, you know, pain. We want to prevent GI issues, whatever we can do, especially just with the simple, you know, way of finding what they like in their hay and making sure that they constantly have it to eat. That's a really simple task, and I love the fact that Small Pet Select does have an option that is very cost effective. So as always, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. I'd love to hear from you all. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we are at PCP Buns. I hope you all have a great day, rest of your week, and I will see you next week for our last video in the Picky Pet Prep series. Bye everyone.